I've never said this before publicly, but I'm going to say it now. There is no such thing as a protective style.
If you notice your hair breaks or cuts off every time you make a protective hairstyle, then unfortunately that hair did not protect anything. Now, before we begin, I want us to have a clear understanding of what a protective hairstyle is. A protective hairstyle is any hairstyle that tucks away the ends of your hair and minimizes daily manipulation. They are to help your hair retain moisture, support healthy hair growth, and prevent breakage. A few of these protective hairstyles include mini twists, mini braids, cornrows, and so many more. Now, why do I say your protective hairstyles are not protecting your hair? A lot of us have introduced extensions into our protective hairstyles, and these extensions are heavy. They weigh your hair down and keep them dry for weeks. So by the time you're taking down your hair, half of your hair has already broken off due to dryness.
If your hair goal is to have healthy curls, you need to stop doing protective styles constantly. And I'm more so speaking on knotless braids. They can be extremely damaging, especially if you are not doing the good prep work before installing them, like deep conditioning, really doing your due diligence with making sure that your hair is moisturized. And if you're leaving your braids in for weeks and months at a time, what do you think is happening to the hair underneath? It's being neglected, not being tended to, it's not being washed, so most likely it's very dry and it's breaking off, which is probably why a lot of us experience shedding when we take our braids down. Guys will say, yeah, protective styles are good, they grow my hair, da 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 da. Yes, your hair might be growing, but if your hair is breaking off underneath, then you're not retaining any length essentially.
Other things that make your hairstyles not protective include how long you keep them for. These days, we see people online telling us that they kept their mini twists or mini braids for 3 or 6 months, and it's beginning to seem like a normal thing. They tell you that not touching their hair for 3 months, 6 months, or not manipulating their hair has helped them grow 3 more inches or 5 more inches. And you believe them, which, let's not lie, it could actually work. These things might work for them, but when you try it, you see that your hair keeps breaking off, and then you begin to think that something might be wrong with your hair. This is not the case for everybody though, but you see people with fine or low density hair keeping their mini braids for 6 or 3 months or 8 months is no longer a protective hairstyle. You are just destroying your hair.
Not every protective hairstyle is protective for your hair. If you're fine haired like me, mini braids, mini twists, they might not be protecting your hair. They might be causing more harm than good to your hair. When I've tried it, I used to do it often. There was the time I joined this mini braids hair growth challenge, but I realized it wasn't helping my hair. Takedown was usually very stressful because my strands are fine. It was leading to so much breakage, and it wasn't even giving the kind of volume I wanted it to give because I have fine hair and also low density. I think it's going to like medium density now or something. But like that hairstyle wasn't protective for me. I've realized that medium to chunky twists are better for my hair type, for my hair strands and all of that. So understand that not every protective hairstyle is for you. Find the one that works best for you and do it. Don't follow the bandwagon. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Know your hair texture, know your hair thickness and all of that, and your hair porosity, and know what kind of hairstyles fit your own hair, not everybody else's hair.
Having fine hair or low density hair means that your hair strands are not as full or as strong as those people with thicker hair strands or thicker hair density. For some people, the longest they can keep their hair is 8 weeks. Once it is over 8 weeks, it just leads to massive breakage. And that means that that hairstyle is no longer protecting your hair anymore. There is a very thin line between a hair that is helping you protect and grow your hair and a hair that is set to destroy the hair you already have on your head. Now, keeping your hair for a long period of time, especially your protective hairstyles, does not mean that you should neglect moisturizing or even washing, conditioning your hair and all of that. That is why I say that sometimes these protective hairstyles are not protecting anything. A hairstyle cannot be protective if you are not taking care of your hair. If you think putting on mini twists and mini braids is a way for you to leave your hair for 8 weeks without moisturizing or washing or conditioning or any of that, that hairstyle is not protecting anything. Another reason your protective hairstyle is not protecting your hair is tension. Every day we see people complaining about traction alopecia, lost edges, thinning, hair breakage, and so many more hair issues.
I've seen women with severe traction alopecia, thinning, breakage, scalp inflammation, all while wearing what they believed were protective styles. You know, the braids, the wigs, the weaves, all of that. So the question is, if these styles are really protective, why are so many women losing their hair? Simply because the style is not what protects the hair. What actually protects your hair is the condition of your scalp, the tension placed on the hair follicle, how the style is installed, how long it's being kept in, and how well the hair is being maintained. A braided hairstyle that is too tight is not protective. A wig worn over a dry, neglected scalp is not protective. If your hair is always being hidden under some type of wig or weave or braids, it makes it very, very easy for you to neglect your hair and deceive you into the fact that your hair is being protected underneath.
This isn't supposed to happen, but it will shock you to know that there are people who think that if their hair is not tight enough, then that hair is not going to look pretty or it's not going to last for a very long time. There are actually people who walk into a salon and say, please make my hair as tight as possible so that I can carry it for 2 months, 3 months, or even 6 months. And these are the things that make us see people coming online every day to complain about their edges have gone, or they're having traction alopecia, or their hair is breaking off. Tension is one of the worst enemies for your hair. If a hair follicle is damaged repeatedly, it just stops growing altogether. The synthetic extensions that we add to our box braids, knotless braids, all these hairstyles can pull at the root of our hair and can cause scalp inflammation. For some people, protective styles are a way to neglect their hair for months. They don't wash, they don't condition, they don't moisturize, they don't oil their hair, nothing. Without doing this, that protective hairstyle can cause your hair to become dry and brittle. And by the time you're taking down that protective hairstyle, you see that your hair just keeps falling and breaking off. The length that you saved in that amount of time suddenly gets broken off in minutes just because of your neglect. Now, these are a few things to consider before putting in your protective hairstyle. This is just to help that protective hairstyle actually be protective to your hair. First thing you should consider is your hair type. If you have fine hair, avoid mini twists or mini braids. Make them a bit chunkier, or you can just make medium braids or medium twists. This will help your hair not to tangle as much and will greatly reduce breakage. Second thing to consider is prepping your hair properly before installing a protective hairstyle. Moisturize your hair and don't neglect your hair even after that protective style is installed. When you can, please avoid hair extensions, and I say this with hair extensions in my hair. You can install mini twists, mini braids, cornrows, flat twists, or even style your natural hair. If you are going to use extensions, don't neglect your scalp health. Because the reason we are installing these protective hairstyles is to protect the hair we already have and also encourage our scalp to produce more hair. Also, speak up in salons. Open your mouth and tell the hairstylist what you want. If you don't want them gripping your edges, tell them, just comb out my edges. I don't want it part of the hairstyle. If the tension that the hairstylist is applying on your hair is too much, tell them to reduce the amount of tension in your braids so that you don't go home and just your scalp starts getting inflamed. Speak up in the hair salons. It might seem like, you might be a little scared, you might feel a little bit intimidated, but you are paying for services. So speak up in these hair salons. Tell them what you want so that they can give you what will be beneficial to your scalp. A style is only protective if it leaves your scalp healthy, accessible, and tension-free. Do you have any bad experiences with protective hairstyles? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!